So for dinner tonight, I'm making butternut squash cut out. I'm going to put some ground turkey and some ground tomatoes in it. And then I'm going to put it back in the oven once this is cooked part of the way. And I'm also going to put dairy-free cheese on it. So with my Pampered Chef cutting board and my Pampered Chef knife, I'm going to cut this. Because this needs to cook for like 40 minutes to make it soft, so you can cut the middle out. So it's cut in half. If I have my Pampered Chef Scoop-a-Loop or a bigger scooper, I could use that to take the seeds out. But instead, I'm going to use my dollar store ice cream scoop. Or you could use the Pampered Chef ice cream scoop for that matter. But we have 3 different size scoopers that do this. And the Scoop-a-Loop is the best. You can actually roast your squash seeds. So they're cut. Got all the seeds out. My rectangle bar pan doesn't have enough seasoning on it. So I'm putting a little bit of olive oil on it. I'm going to score these just a little bit so it's easier when they're cooked to scoop them out. Actually going to put some cinnamon on them. And turn them upside down to cook. And they'll go in the oven for half hour, 40 minutes. There's 15 minutes left before I have to take out the squash. So I am going to make the ground turkey. And I'm going to add in some oregano, some parsley, and some salt. And use my Pampered Chef mixing chop to cook it. So that's heating up. Just going to turn this over. It's Genio's ground turkey. Turn this down just a little bit. And I love the mix and chop because it breaks your food up and is easy to use and brown things. Just like if you would use a spatula, which we have a mix and chop spatula that basically does the same thing. It's a spatula that stands up with one of these ribs and it has holes in it. So I'm going to let that cook for a little bit. We add in a little bit of oregano, a little bit of salt, and if you notice I didn't put any oil in there because it will create its own oil. Just like when you ground beef, it makes its own oil. And on this plate, I am going to put paper towels so when it's done, it drains the grease. The spices into the meat. You can see that they're boats now. All I have to do is mix the ground beef and the other stuff together and put it back in. So now I'm just going to put this back together. Get some cheese. Some dyed cheddar. This goes back in the oven for another 20 minutes. The alarm just went off on the stove. Let's see what they look like. I'm gonna put one in boil for tomorrow. They look amazing. They look absolutely amazing.